Most people don't know this about the life insurance space, but here's why most people fail. Number one is because they get chargebacks. A lot of people, they look at the industry and they talk to people that have failed in the industry, and it's because they could not control their chargebacks. Us as a whole entire agency has done about 88% persistency across the board with our agents because we sell products that people need. We sell based on not on application, but we sell them, hard close, and we want to keep them on the books for as long as possible because we collect renewals down the road. Number two is because their lead cost is too high and they can't convert that many clients to get an ROI on their lead spend. Leads can cost between 40 to 30 to 40 bucks per lead if you're buying off a lead vendor. If you have multiple states, for me, I have 18 states. I'm currently running an ad where I can drop the lead cost to about $10 or $11 per lead, depending on the week, because we get an ad where we're not looking to sell the leads, so we just get them for the cost that it takes for the lead vendor to produce. So we have in-house leads where they're fresh, no one else is dialing them, they are specific to you, and they are requesting you to call them. We have training for how to close and how to scale your business to get to that point where you can invest that much into an ad system. For me, I believe I've invested around $2,000 into my current ad system. That's given me, leads weekly. You can scale with the same lead cost. If you're buying fresh leads, you're going to get 4 times the amount of leads through this system, which is going to help you close more deals and help you scale your agency. Once you scale your personal production, you can build a team, right? That's the ultimate goal. Another reason why people fail in life insurance sales is because they join an organization that goes out of business, or they have a leader that just doesn't show up. For me, I joined an agency where I did a lot of research on the leader. I asked many different people about what he does on a daily basis, how he's, his integrity at heart, what he does, how he trains, what systems he has in place to scale agents, as quickly as possible, because I want to scale, in these first 2 years as much as possible, right? I'm willing to reinvest my time and reinvest my money into building my agency to be one of the most successful at the company. Once we reach that point, we can possibly sell our business and we own our business inside of the larger parent company, right? I'm with Family First Life. They're the largest IMO, or independent marketing organization, in the country. And I joined them specifically because they have the top carrier contracts with insurance. You can own your business and you can also scale your team to the moon, and they have a comp structure that just makes sense, right? Some companies don't have a comp structure that pays enough to keep people in business, right? They're at a low comp, maybe 40, 50% starting. We start people at 80, right? That's basically double the comp for the same products. We also have products that we can deal with 20 different insurance companies. If someone gets declined with one carrier, we can sell them with another. So instead of losing the sale, you still have a possibility of regaining the sale and a much higher chance of closing the deal, because we can work with so many different insurance companies. So it all comes down to cash flow, how much cash you're bringing in versus spending, right? If you can make money, you just stay in business, right? We have people in our agency that have scaled to 0 to 100K a month in personal production, not even building a team, in as little as a year or 2 years. We also have people in our agency that have scaled their teams to 400 or 500K per month in less than 2 years, right? It's a game of duplication. It's a game of systematizing your organization, because you can bring people in, automatically plug them into your system, and then scale them, to where they need to be to start recruiting agents as well. This isn't a game of just recruiting. It's a game of leading from the front. Obviously, you have to sell and build at the same time. You can't just recruit a bunch of people and then just leave them to their own, right? We see that with a lot of agencies where they don't get the proper training, and people have hated on the entire industry because their specific leader in their organization doesn't have the right training in place, doesn't have the right leads in place, and they're just stuck with a bunch of chargebacks that they have to pay back, and they just lose their money, right? And then they leave the industry, and that's why the industry gets a lot of hate. So, I've started in this space, and when I tell people what I'm doing, the people that actually know what they're talking about, they really understand that I'm a young person that can only attract young people to my business at this point, because a lot of older people, they can't really attract hundreds of salespeople into their organization. Like for me, I've had 90 conversations with recruits in the first month of my business, right? So that's gonna, I mean, if I can do that every single month, which I plan on doing, it's gonna scale to the moon, right? I'm only gonna be young once, and I can build this business really, really fast if I, do the right things for a long period of time, right? In the next 2 years, I plan on being at, 1-2 million a month in team production, right? I want to scale to at least 20 million a month in the next, 5 to 7 years. That's going to be really hard to do, but it's possible with social media, and it's possible with getting the right people on board and then scaling them and duplicating the model across the entire team. All right. I've had mentors that have done the numbers that I'm mentioning to you, and then they make personal, between 300, 500K a month in personal income, and they just scale their business, they scale their net profit, and then they can possibly sell their book of business for 6 to 8x the net profit to a private equity group. So that's how the business works. That's why people fail, and why it's also a business where people can succeed in and thrive in and build a business.